Hi there, I'm here today to talk about Sgt Fury and his Howling Commandos epic collections. It's been a long time since we got Volume 1, but we have Volume 2 finally, and that gives us hope for the rest of the future of this line. There's only 2 volumes so far, so let's just take a look at both of these. Let's talk about Sgt Fury and his Howling Commandos Volume 1. Legend has it that Sgt Fury and the Howling Commandos came about because Stan Lee said, I can sell any comic, even no matter how ridiculous the title. And so he was given this title and he had to go with it. And of course, Sgt Fury himself became a character that was brought into the modern day 616 universe and became a very prominent character, especially in the movies these days. Here's a look at the spine box and the back cover, showing us that this first volume has the first 19 issues of this series. This is a war comic that's set in World War II, and it has a team led by Sgt Fury, a lot of characters you may recognize like Dum Dum Dugan. And here are the main ones right here: Nick Fury, Junior Juniper, Rebel Ralston, Dum Dum Dugan, Gabriel Jones, Izzy Cohen, and Dino Manelli. Jack Kirby, of course, is the artist in these early issues, and it is just exactly as you would expect. Really wild and outrageous and action-packed from start to finish. Each issue focuses on a mission that the Howling Commandos are sent on, with no real overarching story except for the fact that it all takes place during the war. Some characters leave, new characters come, as the army is constantly adding new people to their ranks. This comic is not for everybody. I think a lot of people, if they're not used to reading early Silver Age comics, will find this one difficult, especially because Stan Lee really tries to get every character to have a line in every panel, and so there's a lot of dialogue. But if you love these characters, and especially if you love war comics, this is all just pure fun. Nothing really heavy-hitting. And then once we get to the second half of the book, Jack Kirby leaves and Dick Ayers comes in, and Sgt Fury is one of the books that Dick Ayers is known for, some of his best work. This is a product of its time, especially being a war comic, so you will see some stereotypes that are not really favorable these days. They weren't favorable back then either, but this is kind of a propaganda book, so it kind of had its place. And let's take a look at Volume 2, Berlin Breakout. There's a look at the corner box. Here's the back cover. At the beginning of this book, Stan Lee is still the writer, and he'll carry through halfway through this volume until Roy Thomas takes over. But through it all, we have the consistency of Dick Ayers on artwork. And he's going to continue through this volume and even through the next volume until he hands it over to John Severin. This volume keeps the tradition going where the Howlers are sent on missions in every issue, and they meet all sorts of different people, villains, and heroes, and especially in this one we get the secret of how Nick Fury got his eye patch. Baron Strucker becomes one of the most formidable villains for the Howling Commandos at this time, and you'll see him pop up over and over again through these pages. When Roy Thomas takes over from Stan Lee, he still tries and does the same thing where all the Howling Commandos have to say a line in all of the big panels. And yes, it still looks like there's a lot of dialogue on each page here, but I personally find it a little bit easier to read than Stan Lee's stuff. And this will only get better in the next volume. Look at all of the dialogue on this page. So if you're a fan of war comics, or you just like Nick Fury as a character, you'll want to check out this volume here. If you don't like the early Silver Age stuff, then you may want to stay away. Sgt Fury is not one of the most popular 616 comics because it doesn't really feature superheroes. It's kind of a hard sell. Sgt Fury has struggled over the years in the reprints department. The Marvel Masterworks only got up to issue 43 in 4 volumes, and the soft covers only did 1 volume. The Essentials only got up to issue 23 with 1 volume, so the epics are already doing better than that one. The series itself ran 167 issues all the way to 1981. But starting at issue number 80, they started alternating all new content with reprints. So from issue 80 to 120 is only actually half the number of issues that need reprinting. And after issue number 120, it went straight to reprints all the way into the very end. When you count all of the annuals and king-size specials, that probably gives us maybe 4 or 5 more volumes of Sgt Fury epics to go. What I would love to see Marvel do is have them fold in the other 2 war comics into this line of Sgt. Fury, just so they had a place to go. Captain Savage and his Leatherneck Raiders lasted 19 issues in 1968, and Combat Kelly and the Dirty Dozen lasted only 9 issues in 1972. And if they could fold both of those into this epic collection here and just give us a massive war line, I think that would be great. They would extend the volumes by, 3 more volumes, but that's okay if people still buy them and are willing to commit to that. I think that would be awesome. After Sgt. Fury's title was cancelled, the Howling Commandos did show up sporadically throughout the years, so we could tack on another volume or 2 of other material where Sgt. Fury shows up, and who knows, maybe even stretch it into the modern era with some of the Max titles. It could happen. Thanks everybody for watching my video on Sgt. Fury and his Howling Commandos. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any comments, just leave them in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching my video.